After 3 weeks away sealing a $1 billion deal, Richard Hale came home expecting perfection. But what he saw instead, his only daughter in the pool with the maid, would drag buried truths into the light and change their lives forever. Richard Hale wasn't just a billionaire. He was the kind of man whose days were carved into neat, precise blocks of time. Meetings, calls, investments, charity galas, all arranged by assistants who dared not breathe too loudly in his presence. The last 3 weeks had been a whirlwind in Dubai. Deals signed, champagne poured, hands shaken. He'd sent daily check-in messages to his 8-year-old daughter, Chloe. Short, efficient texts. Nothing too emotional. He'd told himself that was enough. Now, as the sleek black Mercedes rolled down his private driveway, he was already rehearsing his next task list. But when he stepped out, briefcase in hand, the silence felt wrong. No butler at the door. No orderly line of staff ready to greet him. Then he heard it. High-pitched giggles carried on the warm summer air. Coming from the backyard, the glistening infinity pool. Chloe and Tanya, the maid, laughing, splashing, the girl clinging to her neck. Richard rounded the corner and froze. There was Chloe, hair wet and plastered to her cheeks, kicking in the shallow end. And Tanya, the black maid he had hired just 2 months ago, right beside her, both in swimsuits, both looking like they had known each other for years. His chest tightened. He had given Tanya strict instructions. No overstepping boundaries. No personal involvement. This wasn't just unprofessional. To him, it felt like a betrayal. Chloe, out of the pool. Now. His voice cracked across the backyard like a whip. The laughter stopped. Chloe's small shoulders stiffened. Tanya turned slowly, water dripping from her braids, meeting his gaze without flinching. "Mr. Hale," she began, but Chloe interrupted, her voice trembling. "Daddy, she's the reason I'm still alive." The memory hit Tanya hard. She could still feel the burn of chlorine in her eyes. It had been an ordinary Tuesday. Tanya was wiping down the terrace furniture when she heard the splash. Too loud to be playful, she sprinted to the pool. Chloe's small body flailed under the water, her hands reaching but finding nothing. Without thinking, Tanya dove in fully clothed, the cold water shocking her lungs. She reached Chloe in seconds, hauling her up, coughing, sobbing, clinging to her like she'd never let go. After that day, Chloe refused to leave Tanya's side. She followed her into the kitchen, sat with her in the laundry room, and begged her to teach her how to swim so she'd never be that scared again. Tanya, knowing what water could take from a child, agreed. They began with floating, then gentle kicks. Soon, the pool wasn't a place of fear for Chloe. It was a place of laughter. Now, standing by the pool, Richard felt the iron grip of his own arrogance. He had seen only the surface, a maid, and his daughter breaking rules. But beneath that was the truth. That night, he walked to the modest maid's quarters. Tanya opened the door, startled. He didn't lecture. He didn't scold. He simply said, "Thank you for saving her, and for giving her something I didn't know how to." Weeks later, the mansion's backyard looked different. The pool was no longer a space of distance. It was the place where Chloe learned to race her father across the shallow end, Tanya cheering them on. Richard still ran his empire, still closed billion-dollar deals. But now, when Chloe called out, "Daddy, come swim with us," he put the phone down, because sometimes the richest moments in life aren't the ones that make you richer. The people we underestimate are often the ones who save us when it matters most.